Hi Sagittarius, I'm Ronique and welcome to Scorpio Soul Time. I hope you all are doing well. Welcome to your November 2024 tarot reading. This is where we're going to look at the astrological energies of the month of November. This is a big month, Sagittarius, as we have Pluto moving back into Aquarius for the next 20 years. Saturn in Pisces, retrograde ends. Mercury in your sign, retrograde begins. And we have the big USA elections, which is huge. During that time, Mars in Cancer and Leo will be opposing Pluto, which will be huge for the entire world, not just the USA. So let's get right into it, Sagittarius. If you haven't already subscribed to Scorpio Soul Time, I would love if you would. Check the description box below and let's get right into it. You start off the first week with the Judgment card in reverse, Major Arcana, as well as the King of Pentacles. Second week of November finds you with the Moon card, Piscean energy there in reverse, as well as the Hanged One, another Major Arcana in reverse. Third week, Wheel of Fortune in the upright, another Major Arcana. Lots of Major Arcanas here, Sag, as well as the Three of Cups. Woo! Some kind of nice looking, you know what's good? I just realized is that you all are getting a lot of benefic cards. So it's nice to see the Three of Cups with the Wheel of Fortune. Very nice to see. And lastly, you get the Death card, Scorpionic energy here. And 10 of Wands in reverse. So you and Scorpio are having your sun times this month, right? Scorpio and Sag month in November. So really nice to see some nice cards coming on in. Let's go ahead and pull a card representing the energy you brought out of the month of October, Sagittarius. Spirit, if you can send my Sages a card representing the energy they bring into November. And you have the King of Wands in reverse. And I'm going to actually turn it upright just so you can see this beautiful depiction of this bird. So King of Wands, you can see this is like a beautiful, almost like a pheasant or a peacock, but beautiful depiction of beauty, but fiery, almost like a phoenix here, right? King of Wands, though, is that passion, needing to have more of that fiery energy. Did you have this in the month of October? And Spirit is saying that if you didn't, this is the month to bring it on, Sagittarius. You are that fiery energy and you need to bring it in this month of November if you didn't have it in October. And I do think for many of you all, you could be commanding a presence here in November. And I do think that many of you all wish you could have channeled that energy back in October. And Spirit is telling you that here in November, you should be able to do that. And I think that many of your cards are already pointing towards that King of Pentacles down here with that Wheel of Fortune. That Death card is definitely saying you are leaving something behind. So that's good to see. Let's go ahead and ask Spirit to send you an oracle message for the month of November. Spirit, if you can send my Sages an oracle message. And you have positive movement forward. Beautiful to see, Sagittarius. So in the month of November, this is going to be a month that you are moving forward with positive movement. No longer looking behind your shoulder, worry that you are not moving in the right direction. I do think for many of you all, the last probably 6 months have been rough. I do think that many of you all, Sagittarius, have been concerned about where you are going in your career, in your life, if you are even going in the right direction, feeling like you needed to start over. And Spirit is saying, even though you have felt like you weren't moving, you actually were. And if you go back even a year from now, you will realize you have made great strides, Sagittarius. So really be happy for where you are at. And as you come into your solar return this year, you will actually be able to see this great achievement. So that's what I just heard from Spirit. So be really happy for yourself, Sagittarius. That's a great accomplishment. So let's go week by week. I think what the beautiful thing about this month is, and what is going to be really interesting, is that on the world stage, as well as in our individual lives, we're going to see huge expansion, but we're also going to see big movement. And so you will have some big major arcanas, right? Judgment, Moon, Hangman, Wheel of Fortune, Death card. Every week you all have a major arcana card. This means to me that November is huge for you all, Sagittarius. So pay attention to the people you meet. Pay attention to the conversations you're having, what comes up in your email, what comes up in meetings that you are having. Whatever happens this month is probably setting the stage for you all probably for at least the next 6 months. And I say that because we start this month off with you all with Mercury entering Sagittarius on November 2nd, and we have a Scorpio New Moon on November 1st. So right out the gate, Mercury in your sign, Sagittarius, is pointing towards big conversations with people, with groups, about philosophy, about travel, around working with groups of people. You all are talking about money. Judgment card, some type of endings could be occurring, but they're happening in a way that is really conducive for conversation. And I do think that many of you all are happy to see this. You all are planting new seeds at that Scorpio New Moon around how can you work together with groups of people and really bring things to a close in a good way to either make more money in the future or to bring money to the masses. That's what I'm hearing. You're working with groups of people to really help others. And Mars in Cancer opposes Pluto and Capricorn on November 3rd. This energy right here is going to be one to watch, especially for the US election. Now, I've been telling everyone, regardless if you are a US citizen or not, this US election is going to be huge for the entire world. And I do think that the energy of the beginning of November will play out in an interesting way. So really pay attention what you're doing, but also what the world is doing this week. And I do think that this energy with Mars and Cancer opposing Pluto and Capricorn at that 29th degree, huge news could come out first week of of November, leading up to the election on the 5th. Now, I will tell you, moving into the second week of November, this is when we have Mars entering Leo on that same day that Mars and Cancer oppose Pluto and Capricorn. And then we have the Sun trining Saturn on the 4th. And then on the 5th, we have the USA election when Mercury and Sag trines the North Node in Aries. That day could be really big for you all, Sagittarius. And I say that because Mercury in your sign trining the North Node, you all could have some big conversations. You all could have some kind of enlightenment that day, some kind of great conversation that unearths some kind of conversation that was from the past, that information wasn't clear at that time and now is. And you all are feeling so much better about either a work conversation, or you all were confused about maybe a mishap or something in the past that you all were not, either the information wasn't given to you properly, or maybe you just had not all the facts. And it feels like around the 5th or 7th, be prepared for getting more information. Now, I will tell you, Mercury will enter retrograde shadow on November 7th. Since Mercury will retrograde in your sign, though, Sag, you may not get all the information all at once. It could start trickling in, and at the same time, you still may not hear all of it until Mercury moves fully direct in December, okay? So just keep that in mind with Mercury in your sign moving retrograde, okay? So it's just in shadow here at the 7th. Now, by the time we move to November 11th, we have Venus entering Capricorn. On the 15th, Saturn retrograde ends in Pisces. Around this time, though, we have a Taurus full moon on the 15th. During that Taurus full moon, you all could have some great benefic news come to you. Wheel of Fortune, 3 of Cups, that is some great news coming to you around the 15th. I think it's going to be leading you into some positive direction, especially with that positive movement forward oracle message that you got. You could be celebrating with friends, with family, with colleagues. By time you're getting, this is around Thanksgiving, right? So for those of you all that celebrate Thanksgiving, this could be some big celebration. It could just be getting together with family, but it also could be someone gets a new job, someone is celebrating a birth of a child, someone is having some new win. Someone could have some really great news around that Taurus full moon. Sun in Scorpio opposes Uranus and Taurus around the 16th, and then around the 19th, Pluto moves into Aquarius for the next 20 years. So between November 15th and 20th, expect some kind of great news, okay? I do think that you all are coming into some benefic time. And hey, by the time we get to the 21st, the sun moves into your sign, into Sagittarius. So you all are having a great time this month, Sagittarius. I'm glad to see it. Now, by the time you are ending and rounding out November, after we have the sun move into your sign, we have Mercury retrograde beginning in your sign November 25th, and it will last until December 15th. Then we will have the sun trining the North Node on the 25th. And by the time we get to December 1st, we will have your Sagittarius New Moon. Now, Sag, I will tell you, moving up to that Sagittarius New Moon on the 1st, something needs to end. You are going through some type of cycle here that Spirit is telling you between that 10 of Wands in reverse and that Death card. If something is coming to an end, let it go. If there is a job that is no longer serving you or people that are falling by the wayside, let them go, okay? It may be difficult at this time, but Spirit is telling you if the signs are there, then you may need to let them go. I do think if you are able to do that, you will continue this positive movement forward. And I do think that's going to be an ongoing journey for most of us, Sagittarius, but I think especially you all in Scorpio during November, it's going to be huge because this is your solar return time. So pay attention to the people you meet this month. Pay attention to the signs that you get this month, because I do think that this is setting you up for your whole nother solar return year. So pay attention. Take a look at your sun, moon, and rising signs in this video series, and I'll talk to you later.